Hello, good morning students. In previous session, we have done with the few of the points as operations of OS. Let's quickly go through it that we have discussed all these different operations of operating system as process management, resource management, memory management, file system management, IO subsystem management, security and the protections. So all are the main management operations done by the operating system. The process is what? The different process management operations, right? Creating process, deleting process, managing, scheduling it, lot many things comes under this. Resource management, what different types of the resources particular process needs to execute. Like it may need a memory, IO device, then the CPU. All these are resources for the particular program or the process. And all these management, allocation of resources, deallocation of resources, and all is done by operating system. Memory management is the storage management. For each and every program and the process, a storage is required to store the data of that program, either a program data or a user's data. So how all those programs, how, where it is to be allocated, to be deallocated, and to be managed is done by the operating system. File system, whatever the data we are storing, it always is stored in the terms of the file system. So file is the unit of storing data into the system. So how these files are being managed, again how these files goes to the systems, how they are saved, and lot many things. We have already discussed all these points. I'm just quickly going through it. IO subsystem management stands for input and output devices and other subsystems which are connected to the system. In that regard, I had given you example of the drivers that OS manages drivers so that whatever the IO devices are connected to your system, all those get well acquainted and all those get recognized by the operating system, right? And the last one, security and the protection. We normally use lot many add-ons for security like your antiviruses, firewalls, and lot many. But by default, operating system provides you some security level and the protection level. The security level is that every operating system and hence the every computer system has got some login credentials. That is, you need to log into the system. That is one level of the security provided. And protection is what you can protect files and the folders on your system by locking them, by assigning some password to them so that not all can access it. That is again a one level of the protection, right? So thus we have gone through all these discussions in our previous session, right? Now today let us see different types of the operating system, right? Today let us see with the different batch operating system is the oldest operating system in the generations of all those operating systems, right? Now showing you the information of this batch operating system. Well, I guess here something has been gone wrong. I'll speak of I need to do a correction with this batch operating system. Now with this batch operating system, as I said, it's very old era operating system. During this, make a point clear that user didn't had any of the interaction with the system, which like nowadays we have, that we are directly interacting with the system. I'm opening my program, I'm executing my program. In those days of batch operating system, user was supposed to prepare his job first. So here user one says the job one. Now this job one is what? Anything which I as a user wants that system should execute. It could be my program, it could be my file. That time basically a interactive system was not available, right? Make it clear that interactive system was not at all available and it was made specially for some calculation purposes. Normal text editors and all those interactive applications at all were not in existence, right? So here user creates a job one stands for what? That I am creating some file some job that could be, for example, my program. In those old eras, it could be my Fortran COBOL program to be executed. So I'll create a job means what? I'll create my program. And directly it was not possible for me to submit the program with the system, press some key, see the output, see the compilation. That was not possible for me. So users were creating the jobs one by one physically, right? And they were handing over it to the operator. How the jobs will be handed over to the operator in the term of some punching cards, right? Some physical device, right? That it's as good as that I am having some notebook with me. I have written some code into the notebook, and I'm handing over that notebook physically to the other person, and I'm saying that now you execute this program. In the same way, user were creating the jobs. Those jobs were embedded or stored into some devices, right? For example, the cards, and that card was physically handed over to the operator. Operator is now here a person who is handling the computer system, right? Now operator is what? The person who is handling the computer system. Now what the operator does, then operator makes this pool of these jobs. So batch 1, batch 2, it's simply as good as resembles to your batches. Say batch A, B of your class. Batch A stands for roll number 1 to 20. Batch B stands for 20 to 40, and so on. Simply a grouping of the students. So here batching is also a grouping of the jobs to be executed. So batch 1, batch 2. Now what operator used to do, that operator used to submit one batch at a time to the system. Now at the last, it is a system, computer system, CPU system, OS, user program. It depicts your computer system, right? So what operator were doing? He was submitting a batch. Batch means what? Group of the programs simultaneously. So in that case, obviously he has to wait that someone has submitted me job 1. Let me wait for job 2. Then I'll submit job 1 and 2 simultaneously to the system on a first come first serve basis, right? So in this sense, he'll submit the batch 1 to the operating system, that is your computer system over here. Computer system will execute the program and will give the output of your program as in terms of something. It could be your printout, it could be your display or something on the output devices directly. Here there was no any chance of debugging a program, that let me compile a program, let me check what is the error, let me try out with a different input, and let me try out with a different input output combination. No way, right? Give a job, execute it, and take it back, right? You can just resemble it to some mechanical device also, right? Mechanical engine. Give a job, execute, and take it back. That's it. No any intervention, no any interaction with the system, right? Are you getting it? Right? Observe here that we are not taking name of any specific operating system like Windows, Linux, and all, because those are directly the products, right? Those operating systems are the products. I can say Windows is one operating system and it is product to be sold and all, right? Now we are talking about the types of the operating system. In a sense, we are talking about its characteristics, we are talking about the functionalities of the operating system, what it can do. Now for example, Windows is an operating system which may have more than one or two of the features, the types as we are discussing over here. So I can say Windows is a multi-programmed operating system, right? It is a multi-programmed operating system. I can say Windows also have a time sharing concept, time sharing feature. So here what we are talking about types of the operating system, in a sense, we are talking about a main feature based on which the categorization of the operating system has been done, right? Based on which the categorization of the operating system has been done. So this multi-programming is what one of the feature, right? Based on which the operating system can be called as a multi-programmed operating system, and so on. Right now, multi-programming, as the name suggests, you split the word multi and you split the word with the program. So multiple programs. Now, in case of the batch operating system, at a one time, only one job was under execution, right? At a time, only one job was under the execution. It was in a queue style, right? First come, first serve. in a queue style, take the one in for the execution. By that time, keep all the programs in a waiting state. Now let us talk about this multi-programming operating system. The memory layout for this multi-programming is what? At the upper end, now normally it happens that the operating system is at the bottom layer, the depiction of it. Then the job 1, job 2 stands for your programs, right? The processes, the programs for us. Job 1 is one program, job 2 is other program, and so on. As and when the jobs comes to the system, they will be given, submitted to the operating system without any waiting for its execution. Now see, in this case, now it is said that a single processor. Remember that we are speaking of a single processor but multiple programs. Single processor is what? A single CPU is handling multiple programs at a time. Now what is the use of it? That using multi-programming we can increase utilization of CPU and all. Right? Uni-programming is what? A single program cannot keep CPU and IO devices busy at all the times. Now this could be clear from this diagram. Now please observe this diagram. Say the first A is a uni-programming. Now these boxes depicts the cycles, right? That is during what time your program is doing what. Now program A, during the first cycle it is running. Running is what? That is CPU has been allocated to the process that CPU is executing the program. That is the run cycle, right? This is simply a diagrammatic way of telling what your program is doing and for how much long time it is doing, right? What this diagram tells you, these are the cyclic diagrams. It shows the cycles. It means that what that particular program is doing and for how much long time it is doing, right? So this is what running a program. Now after that, your program is in a wait state. Now wait state, obviously wait state is what? Your program is waiting for something to happen. Ultimately, it means that your program is not running during that particular time span. And if your program is not running, obviously it means that your CPU is in idle state, right? It means that your CPU is in idle state. And then for what it was waiting for example, it could be waiting for the IO devices, right? For example, it was waiting for the IO devices. Once that wait has been finished, that it has got some IO devices, your program will again enter into the run cycle, right? Your program again will enter into the run cycle and then waiting and for. Now during this first program A, run block 1 and run block 2, only two blocks are there during which program was in running state. Obviously during which the CPU was in utilization, right? Anyway, now I have got that annotate tool, right? So now I hope that it, hello, hello.
हो ma'am.
आकांक्षा बोलते. Others, please speak out. Hello. Hello. Hello, can you hear me? Well, should we proceed with the other one? Right, you are typing in the chat box that you are hearing to me. Right. Now, the other real life example of multi-programming, a very common day-to-day example, let's say of your mother doing a daily stuff into the kitchen, right? Now, say if she is following the uni-programming pattern. Now, your mother, she is a processor, right? As she has to handle all the jobs. Now, if she decides to be a uni-programming style, she will put on, let's say, tea to boil on a gas, and she will go on waiting कि एक चाय कप बनेगी, फिर उसके बाद ही मैं मिल्क रखूंगी, फिर ये चाय कप बनेगी, फिर उसके बाद ही मैं सब्जी करूंगी. लेट्स से चाय बन गई, फिर शी विल वेट ऑन, राइट? फिर उसके बाद वो सब्जी डालेगी, फिर शी विल वेट ऑन, फिर उसके बाद वो चपाती डालेगी, वेट ऑन. So how much long time she will need? Because once she put a tea on a gas, she don't need to interfere with it, right? Her job is done for putting it on the gas, right? Now what will she do? She will start with the multi-programming. She will put something other, let's say milk, let's say sabji on the other gas, right? What she is doing? She is doing a multi-programming style. What she wants, the other task, the other program, she will start over. Again, she will come back to the tea because she has to pour milk into it. Again, she will go back to the sabji, she has to put a namak into it, right? So she will switch on between the jobs, right? Once both two are on the gases and again she is empty, that everything is done and she is waiting for the boiling, she will do something with you. She will speak to you. Are you doing studies? She will look into the mobile phone. आपके lectures कब है? She is doing a multitasking and the multi-programming. That's the very simplest example of it. The example of the time sharing OS, that what real life example I'm giving you. I have agarbatti in my hand. I have lightened the tip of it and that I'm having it in my hand. So what I can see about the lightened top is that I can see only the agarbattis obviously, but I can see a single lightened top, right? A single dot of a light. Agree or no? चैट में मत बोलो भाई, लेट मी नो, स्पीकर ऑन करो और बात करो आप, राइट? आपको एक ही डॉट दिखेगा लाइट का, राइट? नाउ यू मूव दैट अगरबत्ती इन सम साइक्लिक फैशन, आप उसका सर्कल बनाओ हवा में, राइट? आपको क्या दिखेगा? दैट अ लाइटन डॉट इज बीइंग स्ट्रेच्ड इनटू द एयर. आपको एक लाइन दिखेगी, फिर टूटी 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 लाइन दिखेगी. Now you just go on rotating that agarbatti in a very fast style, right? As some person doing it in a circus, that he has some fires in his hand and he is rotating it. What you can see a circle of a fire. In our case, you will see a lightened circle. But is it really a lightened circle? Hello, is it really a lightened circle?
No, ma'am.
Is it really a fire circle? No. The source for whole this is a single light dot or a single fire in a hand. But the jobs are done by so fast by that person as being a processor, so that it gives you an illusion effect that multiple dots are there, multiple fires are there, and all are being handled at the same time. So the same effect we can see in this time sharing OS, multi-programmed OS, that only a single processor is doing, but it is doing so fastly that it is giving us the illusion effect that every user and every machine thinks of that my job is being under process, that my job has been served, my job has been done by the CPU, and CPU is doing a job only for me because it's not keeping you waiting, right? It obviously means the processor is so fast, and the style of his processing, the style of his working is so scheduled that no one feels to be in a waiting state, right? That's and with this example. So today we'll stop here.